Well, hi everybody, it's time for your Farm and Ranch News. You know, as members of the Wyoming Stock Growers Association continue to meet here in Casper, and members of the Montana Stock Growers Association begin to meet in Billings this week, one animal health issue on the radar this year is that outbreak of bovine tuberculosis up in Alberta, Canada. Here in Casper, I had the chance to visit with Wyoming's state veterinarian, Dr. Jim Logan, about this issue and why they're concerned.
Well, we have been watching that situation closely because Wyoming Livestock Board is in the process right now of revising our Chapter 8 import rules, which of course include a TB test requirement on Canadian cattle. That may or may not change.
Dennis Sun is the Wyoming Stock Growers Association's vice president from Casper and says with a new legislative session just a few short weeks away, they'll be working hard to educate all those new legislators headed for Cheyenne.
We've got about a third of the House that's new, and in the Senate we have 6 new state senators. So a lot of our issues and for our execs is staff at Wyoming Stock Growers is to educate these people. A lot of them have no idea or not much idea what Wyoming Stock Growers is, and so we're the education process and on all these new ones legislators is going to be quite a feat.
The Wyoming Beef Council also met here in Casper this week. Tom Wright is a director from Newcastle and says a big focus was using social media to reach the millennial generation.
Well, they are the people who are forming families and buying for young families and setting them those purchasing and eating patterns in place for people that will be with us for 30 or 40 years. So we think that's a very important group to reach and try to influence.
And we should also mention that lots of these members who are attending both the Wyoming and Montana Stock Growers conventions this week will be headed for Nashville, Tennessee, the first week in February for the 2017 Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA Trade Show, and I'll be there too. Stay with us, we'll have more coming up next.